Okay, as we take a look at chapter 14, we're really building upon chapter 13. So within chapter 14, we're focusing on the leader, how the leader can achieve those sustainable outcomes. And it's really important, as we kind of talked about in chapter 13, to assure that those changes and improvements are effective and that there's positive outcomes as a result of those changes that are ever present within healthcare. And part of the leader's role is actually being very deliberate and systematic in creating those changes or creating those improvements. So when we're looking at the leaders themselves, we need to make sure that we embody those visionary components of leadership and really apply our transformational leadership skills. And we're accountable for those actions and accountable for those key components as far as building relationships and communication that are so key for success of those that we serve. So those are some really important factors to think about in really whittling down to what is truly important in the leadership practice and how those core practices actually elevate the leader's ability to achieve those tremendous outcomes and to transform healthcare. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're taking a look at chapter 14. And of course, it's always important to do those reflective skills. And I know we've talked about that before, but reflection is such a valuable skill for leaders. We always must ask ourselves, how did things go? What did we learn from the process? How can we improve what we've done before? So there has to be a constant examination of not only our particular skills, but we also must think about why things occur in the delivery system and not just take things as face value, but really look at why each and every factor of healthcare occurs, whether it would be dynamics within the group or team functions, but always whittling things down to look at the true cause so that you can be effective as a leader in addressing that cause rather than constantly examining the results of those true causes. So many times we spin our wheels because we're always putting out fires because we're not getting down to what the true issue actually encompasses. So some of the key factors as far as the book covers in building or in being a leader, so to speak, is building those skills in executing action, influencing others, relationship building, and strategic thinking. So all of those components really mesh well with what we've just been talking about here in chapter 14, because there needs to be that broad and critical thought process that is congruent with strategic thinking as you're moving forward in your leadership practice. So keep those factors in mind and keep in mind how important it is to be a leader. And it's not just following policies or procedures, it's more of what you're made of. And part of that is going back to what we've talked about before, is really knowing how you think and how you relate to different circumstances within your practice, because we need to keep ourselves in check so that we can be effective with those that we serve. And we all have our own biases based on how we've lived our lives and what we've been exposed to. So it's important to take a step back and really focus on understanding the why of what things occur in practice versus judging those. It's it's such a key nuance to understand, to really focus on understanding first before action is taken. So, words of wisdom, um, hopefully, anyway. So, I just want you to really enjoy chapter 14. There's really good information about making valuable changes within healthcare, within your area of practice, and really focusing on not only going through the process, but building those sustainable outcomes that are so, so very important, as well as different ways to really gauge how you're doing and benchmarking with different data sets and different actions, including things like Joint Commission and looking at applying some of the quality data that's out there. So let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I look forward to our discussions. Take care now.